Welcome to another informative video from the Relationship Recipe. If you find this video helpful, hit the like button, drop a comment, or follow us. Your engagement helps us be seen. Also, we'd love to see you at our blog at therelationshiprecipe.com for more in-depth relationship and lifestyle articles. Today, we will be talking about how good wife syndrome can lead to walk-away wife syndrome. Maybe you will be able to see a bit of yourself or your marriage in this video. First, let's discuss the meanings of each. What is the good wife syndrome? The good wife syndrome encompasses a set of societal expectations and traditional roles assigned to women within the context of marriage. Historically, women have been conditioned to prioritize their husband's needs, manage household affairs, and maintain a facade of unwavering support, often at the expense of their own aspirations and desires. Good wife syndrome, of course, is not sustainable long-term, as well as being difficult to get out of because we teach people how to treat us over time. Here are some real-life examples of good wife syndrome. Jane, a successful professional, gave up her promising career to support her husband's ambitions, adhering to the societal expectation that a good wife sacrifices her career for her family. Sarah spent endless hours catering to her family's needs, neglecting her own well-being, under the assumption that a good wife puts everyone else first. What is walk-away wife syndrome? Walk-away wife syndrome refers to a situation where a wife, after enduring years of emotional neglect, lack of appreciation, or unmet needs, contemplates leaving the marriage. The cumulative impact of feeling unfulfilled and undervalued can lead a woman to reach a breaking point, prompting her to consider being a walk-away wife for her own emotional well-being. Here are some real-life examples of walk-away wife syndrome. Emily found herself emotionally distant from her husband, who consistently belittled her aspirations and dismissed her feelings, leading her to contemplate leaving for a chance at happiness. Maria, feeling unappreciated and emotionally neglected, reached a point where the desire for personal fulfillment and emotional connection became stronger than the commitment to an unfulfilling marriage. How can the good wife syndrome lead to walk-away wife? 1. Suppressed individual aspirations. The pressure to conform to traditional roles within a failing marriage not only stifles personal aspirations and career goals, but can also create a pervasive sense of unmet potential. So, what are the consequences of suppression? Career stagnation. In a failing marriage, the suppression of personal aspirations often manifests in a woman's professional life. The sacrifice of career goals to uphold traditional roles can lead to stagnation in the workplace, hindering professional growth and development. Loss of identity. The constant focus on meeting familial expectations may result in a diminishing sense of self. Resentment. The woman may harbor feelings of frustration and bitterness, questioning the sacrifices made for the relationship. 2. Emotional neglect. As traditional gender roles dictate a woman's primary responsibility for nurturing and caring, her emotional needs may be overlooked or dismissed. The consequences of emotional neglect can be profound and far-reaching, impacting various aspects of a woman's well-being and the dynamics of relationships. Here are some of the key consequences. Increased vulnerability to mental health issues. Individuals experiencing emotional neglect may be more susceptible to mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. The absence of emotional support can exacerbate existing mental health challenges and contribute to the development of new ones. Impact on physical health. Chronic stress resulting from emotional neglect has been linked to various health issues, including cardiovascular problems and compromised immune function. Escapism and unhealthy coping mechanisms. To cope with the emotional void caused by neglect, we may turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse, excessive work, or other forms of escapism. These behaviors can further strain relationships and hinder personal growth. Here are some possible negative results. Impact on self-expression. Emotional neglect can stifle one's ability to express themselves authentically. You may become hesitant to share thoughts and emotions, fearing they won't be understood or accepted. 3. Lack of self-care. The relentless focus on meeting the needs of a partner, children, or family members may result in neglecting one's own well-being. Here are several aspects to consider when exploring the consequences of neglecting self-care. Emotional burnout. Aside from the physical aspects, the absence of self-care can lead to emotional burnout, characterized by feelings of overwhelm, frustration, and a sense of being emotionally drained. Emotional exhaustion can further strain the marital relationship, making it challenging to navigate conflicts effectively. Impact on self-esteem. Neglecting oneself in favor of prioritizing others can contribute to a decline in self-esteem. Over time, individuals may internalize a diminished sense of self-worth, making it difficult to assert their needs within the marriage. Impact on parenting. Emotional exhaustion may hinder one's ability to be present and engaged with their children, impacting the overall family dynamic. 4. Unmet emotional needs. When a marriage is in trouble, the persistent pattern of self-sacrifice and prioritizing others can result in the neglect of essential emotional needs. This dynamic contributes to a void within the relationship, impacting both individuals involved. Here are key aspects to consider when examining the consequences of unmet emotional needs. Resentment and frustration. Unmet emotional needs often give rise to resentment and frustration. The partner sacrificing their own needs may harbor feelings of disappointment, feeling unappreciated or undervalued, while the other partner may be unaware of the growing emotional distance. Escalation of conflict. As emotional needs go unmet, conflicts within the relationship may escalate. Unexpressed emotions can resurface in the form of arguments or passive-aggressive behavior, creating additional strain on the marital dynamics. Vulnerability to external influences. A marriage with unmet emotional needs due to good wife syndrome becomes vulnerable to external influences. We may seek emotional support or connection outside the marriage, inadvertently opening the door to potential infidelity, or seeking solace in friendships that fulfill neglected needs. 5. Absence of boundaries. When a marriage is in trouble, the absence of personal boundaries due to the pursuit of perfection as a wife can significantly impact the dynamics of the relationship. Here are some examples of consequences for an absence of boundaries. Strain on relationships. Absence of personal boundaries can strain relationships within and outside the marriage. Friends and family may feel neglected as the wife dedicates excessive time and energy to fulfill her perceived role, potentially leading to strained connections. Cycle of overcommitment. Without clear boundaries, the wife may find herself trapped in a cycle of overcommitment. The inability to say no or establish limits can result in taking on more responsibilities than manageable, perpetuating a cycle of stress and exhaustion. 6. Limited autonomy. In an unhappy marriage affected by good wife syndrome, the imposition of expectations to prioritize the family over individual autonomy can have far-reaching consequences. Restricted decision-making. Significant choices, ranging from career decisions to personal pursuits, may be influenced or dictated by the overarching family-centric expectations. Stifled personal growth. Pursuing personal aspirations or exploring new avenues may be hindered, contributing to a sense of stagnation and unfulfillment. Potential for unfulfilled lives. The overarching prioritization of family needs may result in individuals leading lives that fall short of personal fulfillment. Unexplored passions, unfulfilled ambitions, and neglected self-care can contribute to a sense of longing and dissatisfaction. 7. Diminished self-worth. In a marriage stifled by good wife syndrome, the persistent pattern of prioritizing others over oneself can have profound effects on a woman's self-worth. Here are some examples. Struggles with assertiveness. The fear of asserting one's needs or boundaries can perpetuate a cycle of compliance, even in situations where personal well-being is compromised. Effects on intimacy. Diminished self-worth can extend to the realm of intimacy, creating barriers to emotional and physical connection. Individuals may struggle to engage authentically, fearing rejection or judgment based on their perceived lack of worth. Role of external validation. Seeking external validation becomes a common coping mechanism for those with diminished self-worth. Women struggling with good wife syndrome may excessively rely on external praise and approval to compensate for the internal void created by feelings of inadequacy within the marriage. 7. Resentment accumulation. In a marriage suffering from good wife syndrome, the accumulation of unexpressed resentment can act as a silent corrosive force, gradually undermining the foundations of the relationship. Catalyst for negative interactions. Small disagreements or misunderstandings may trigger disproportionately intense reactions fueled by the underlying reservoir of unresolved resentment. Perception of unfairness. Women harboring resentment may perceive the relationship as fundamentally unfair. This perception can exacerbate feelings of victimization, intensifying the desire to seek relief from the perceived injustices within the marriage. Culmination in the desire for liberation. Over time, the weight of accumulated resentment may culminate in a profound desire for liberation. Wives seeking relief from the emotional burden may contemplate separation or divorce as a means to break free from the cycle of unresolved grievances. 8. Communication breakdown. In the intricate dance of a marriage struggling from good wife syndrome, the pressure to conform to societal expectations can cast a looming shadow over open communication. Struggle for emotional expression. The struggle to conform may extend to emotional expression, hindering the ability to openly convey personal feelings and needs. Partners may find themselves trapped in a cycle of unspoken emotions, leading to a communication impasse. Impact on intimacy. Communication breakdowns stemming from conformity can significantly impact intimacy. The inability to openly express desires may create emotional distance between partners, hindering the development of a deeper, more meaningful connection. 9. Role conflict. The intricacies of role conflict within a marriage strained under good wife syndrome unravel as couples struggle and clash between societal expectations and personal aspirations. This internal strife becomes a poignant element in the narrative of a relationship teetering on the edge, influencing dynamics in several profound ways. Internalized guilt and shame. The internal turmoil stemming from role conflict often manifests as feelings of guilt and shame. Women on the verge of walkaway wife may grapple with guilt for not adhering to societal expectations, or shame for suppressing their authentic aspirations to fit into predefined roles. Roadblock to relationship growth. Instead of navigating shared aspirations, partners grapple with internal turmoil that impedes the collaborative journey toward a fulfilling and harmonious relationship. The intertwining of the good wife syndrome and walkaway wife syndrome highlights the intricate dynamics within marriages. Recognizing the societal expectations placed on women and understanding the emotional toll of conforming to these roles is important for creating healthy relationships. This concludes another insightful video. For a more in-depth look at relationships, divorce, and other lifestyle topics, be sure to stop by our blog at therelationshiprecipe.com. Thanks for watching.